Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. WTA Guadalajara 2022 draw preview and prediction video. We're going to get into it, and it's a stacked draw. It really is. There are a couple of omissions, and we'll go over that in a second. It's a Masters 1000 tournament in Mexico. It's the second edition this year as well, and it's the same tournament, same venue that the WTA finals took place last year. It's an incredibly vibrant tournament with fantastic colors and atmosphere. So it should be extremely fun, competitive, and with a lot of, let's say, vavavoom to it for sure as well. So I can't wait to watch some of the matches and also get to see the atmosphere, which I think is going to be incredible. Before we get into it, remember to that like button and subscribe if you are new. Thank you very much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. As always, of course, your support is greatly appreciated. We should be getting some content from someone on the ground from QualityShot Tennis, actually. So keep an eye out for that as well. And hopefully, I don't want to say exactly what it's going to be just in case it doesn't come through, but most likely we should be getting some content which will be exciting to share with you guys. So Igor Swiatek is not playing this tournament, interestingly, and neither is Anet Kontaveit. So Kontaveit pulling out, and Swiatek, I think, is actually about to play her final against Vekic in San Diego. So the turnaround is probably just not ideal. So let's have a think and a look at the draw previews. What I'm going to do, as always, is go through each match from the first round and then give you guys the last 10 results on hard courts on the surface they're going to be playing on for each player, give you guys the head-to-head as well. And like I always say in these videos, do bear in mind that you need to take into account the fact that some of these players might not have played in top tournaments. They might be, 250s, or they could even be futures tournaments. So take the form guide with a pinch of salt. Let's get into it then. So Paula Badosa has a bye. She is the top seed then for this tournament, given the emissions, and she has a 3-7 record going into this, so not in particularly good form whatsoever. Her form has really dipped this year generally, and she's got a lot of points to defend in the back end of this year. I would be surprised if she stays in the top 10 come the end of the year. Azarenka and Zhang. So Azarenka has a 6-4 record going into this, 5-5 for Zhang. 3-0 is the head-to-head, or 3-love is the head-to-head between Azarenka and Zhang. I'm going to go Azarenka. She always seems to bubble up to the surface and bubble up pretty aggressively as well when it comes to the first quarter of the year during the Australian Open, before and after, and also before and after the US Open. She clearly loves the hard courts. It's her preferred surface. She's won slam there as well, slams. So she clearly likes the hard courts, and she plays the best tennis on them as well. She just seems at home there. So I think she'll come through okay. Then we've got Tomljanovic against the wild card, Fernanda Contreras Gomez, who is Mexican, so she'll have the crowd behind her. Tomljanovic has a 6-4 record, 7-3 for the Mexican. I'm actually going to go with Contreras Gomez just because I think the Mexican crowd might play a big part in this match, and it's a very, very loud, vibrant crowd, and I just have a feeling that the wild card might in Fernanda Contreras Gomez even will come through, and I think it might make a difference. So we'll see. Madison Keys and Magda Linette. So interesting matchup here. 6-4 for Linette, 5-5 for Keys. That's the last 10 matches for each in terms of the win-to-loss ratio, of course. I'm going to go with Madison Keys. Linette's been in some good form, though, and actually slightly better form than Keys, but he should have too much power, you would imagine. We shall see. Beatrice Haddad-Maia, who's had a fantastic year so far. She's the 11th seed, and she has a 6-4 record going into this. 7-3 for Siniakova. I'm going to go Haddad-Maia. I like the way she plays. I really do. I have a feeling she might be able to do something here. Shelby Rogers and Trevisan. Rogers 5-5, Trevisan 2-8. Trevisan on the clay, as we saw at the French Open, is a danger to anyone. Any other surface, though, she can struggle to really make her mark. And I think Rogers is very much at home on these hard courts. So I'm going to go Rogers. Potapova. So there's a couple of blanks here. So I'm going to go Potapova for now. She's playing a qualifier. Potapova 6-4, though, in her last 10 matches. Coco Gauff has a bye, and the number 5 seed is 6-4 in her last 10. Pegula 7-3, and she's also got a bye. She lost to Swiatek in the San Diego tournament, and Coco Gauff also lost to her. So quarterfinals, Gauff got beaten 6-3, 6-love quite comprehensively. Pegula, as she should the first set against Swiatek after being 4-2 down, capitulated a little bit. I mean, level dropped in the second and third sets. Swiatek definitely played well, but she'll be disappointed not to get get something back against Swiatek, given that the head-to-head was 3-1. She would have liked to have closed the gap there, given that she'd won her first set four matches against Swiatek in that first set. Didn't manage to capitalize. A bit of a rain break as well, quite a substantial one that probably didn't help after the first set. But in saying that, can't use that as the only excuse, of course. Rybakina Pliskova, 2 big hitters, of course, 2 big servers as well. This is a very interesting one because it's going to be, I think, who can make the least amount of errors, honestly. Rybakina has a 7-3 record going into this, 6-4 for Pliskova. She also has a 1-0 head-to-head. I'm going to go for the Kazakh player. I think she might have too much firepower, and she's having a good year, of course, after winning Wimbledon not too long ago. Bianca Andreescu has looked very good. Honestly, she has. I think she's been very impressive, has Andreescu this year. When I say she's looked impressive, let me rephrase. She's looked better than she has in the last couple of years, and she's starting to find some of that Grand Slam form that she had when she won the US Open as an 18-year-old. She's had a lot of injuries, and I think she had some... I think she's also had some mental health issues as well. So good to see her in a better frame of mind and enjoying her tennis. She's 5-5 going into this. 3-7 is Teichmann. I'm going to go with Andreescu. Pera versus Kvitova is an interesting one. 5-5 for Pera, 7-3 for Kvitova. 1-0 is the head-to-head in favor of Kvitova. And I think she's had a good last 3 or 4 months, Kvitova. So I'm going to go with her. Bencic Fernandez is a pick'em. It really is a fantastic matchup for a first round. The former US Open finalist Fernandez from last year, of course. Well, what's her record? Her record at the moment is 5-5. Bencic 6-4 going into this. She's a 25th seed. She's clearly dropped substantially down the rankings. Her form hasn't been the best this year. And Fernandez actually has a 2-0 record against Bencic. I'm going to go with her to extend that head-to-head lead. Sloane Stephens will be playing a qualifier. She's 5-5, so I'll pick her. Same with Anne Lee, who is 3-7. Caroline Garcia has a bye. She's going to be dangerous. 7-3 for her. We'll see how far she's able to go. But since the grass, she hasn't looked quite as well. Not that's a lie, actually. Sorry. Since the US Open, she maybe hasn't looked quite as good as we might have expected. But she's so dangerous. Kudermetova also has a bye. She's 7-3 going into this. And Vekic, who's in the final of San Diego, she's actually down to play now. It's interesting to see whether she does play. I imagine she'll fly over and probably play the second day rather than the first. I'll try and schedule her last on court. But not ideal, of course. She's got a 6-4 record going into this. And Eugenie Bouchard, very interesting to see her in the draw. Great to see in the draw. She's got a qualifier. She's 5-5. She's had a couple of good results recently. Good to see her back on court. Ostapenko has a qualifier as well. She is 5-5, and same with Collins is also 5-5. Losing to Vekic today in the semifinals, that would have been a bit of a downer because she would have been expecting to win that one. Potentseva is 4-6 going into this tournament, and Kostyuk versus Sasnovich is a good one. 5-5 for Kostyuk, 6-4 for Sasnovich. Kostyuk, I'm very, very high on her game. I think she's very, very talented. In saying that, there haven't been the improvements maybe that I've wanted to see from her as of late. And I just think the improvements are either not coming or they're happening too slowly. So I'm actually going to go with Sasnovich to beat Kostyuk. Sakkari has a bye, and she has a 5-5 record going into this tournament. Kasatkina with a 7-3 record, and she also has a bye. Linzhu against Cornet. Cornet should come through that, in my opinion. She's got a 6-4 record in the last 10 matches, 7-3 for Zhu, and 1-0 is the head-to-head for Cornet. So I'm going to go for Cornet to extend that. Mertens has a bye. She's 7-3. Not bye, so she's playing a qualifier. And Krejcikova, who won, of course, last year. She's won the Tallinn Open. Didn't she, beating Anett Kontaveit, and then beat Swiatek last week, which was fantastic, in the Winners' Open. Ostrava Open, even winning in 3 sets. And it's great to see her back in good form. She won back-to-back tournaments in Tallinn and Ostrava. Winners' Open got cancelled, I think, because of injury. So she's got a pretty difficult match against Kalinskaya, but it's great to see her back in good form. It really is. I'm very happy to see her playing the type of tennis we saw from last year when she won the French Open. So I'm going to go Krejcikova to win. Alexandrova, and yeah, Krejcikova is, what's her record? I've gone through it, haven't I already? So no, I haven't, I don't think. 6-4 for both. Oh no, hold on. 6-4 for Kalinskaya. 10 wins, of course, for Krejcikova in her last 10 matches because she's won 2 tournaments. Incredible record. So she's the most informed player on tour at the moment. Alexandrova against Osorio. I think Alexandrova, 8-2 record, 4-6 for Osorio, and 1-0 is the head-to-head between Osorio and Alexandrova in favor of Osorio, but I'm going to go Alexandrova. Bouzkova versus Martinkova. I think Bouzkova, 7-3 record, 5-5 record for Martinkova. 1-0 is the head-to-head in favor of Bouzkova. I'm going to go Martinkova, though. Samsonova, Kanepi. 8-2 is the record for Samsonova. 5-5 for Kanepi. 2-0 in favor of Samsonova. I'm going to go Kanepi, though, to get her first win over Samsonova. She is very, very difficult to play against. And Sabalenka has a bye. She's 7-3. Well, let's go into the second round picks then. So, Badosa Azarenka is a fantastic second round match as a pick'em. I just think Badosa should be too young and fresh for Azarenka nowadays, but I just don't know. She's so inconsistent. I'm going to go Badosa, though. Gomez versus Madison Keys. Now, if Gomez is to get this far by winning her first match, it's going to be tough against Madison Keys, but she'll serve the crowd. I'm going to go Madison Keys, though. Haddad Maia versus Rogers. I'm going to go Rogers. I just feel like on the hard court, she just seems so comfortable. Haddad Maia has been good this year, but form-wise, I think Rogers has been just pretty good and got some notable wins as well. Potapova versus Corey Gauff or Coco Gauff. I'm going to go Gauff. I think Gauff, yeah, she'll show what she's about. And Pegula Rybakina, just depends how tired Pegula is, honestly. But I think Pegula, she should be able to potentially nullify the massive serve that Rybakina has because her returning is so good. And then we can go to Andreescu and Kvitova. That's a fantastic match. That would be incredible to watch. I'm going to go Andreescu. I think she might be able to be a bit more solid than Kvitova. Kvitova might make a lot more errors. If Andreescu can just serve quite well, then she'll be in a good position. Fernandez, Sloane Stevens, 2 real grinders going at it. There'll be some long rallies on that one if that happens. I'm going to go with Fernandez to come through. Then Anley, Caroline Garcia. Going to Caroline Garcia. Kudermetova, Vekic. I think I'm actually going to go. Well, Vekic might be tired though, so I'm going to go Kudermetova. Bouchard, Ostapenko. I'm going to go Ostapenko to beat Bouchard. And Collins, Potentseva. I shall go with Collins. Sasnovich, Sakkari, Sasnovich actually to cause the upset. Cornet, Kasatkina, going to go Kasatkina. Krejcikova to beat Mertens. Martinkova to beat Alexandrova, I'm going to go with. And Sabalenka to beat Kanepi. Right, round of 16, Badosa Key is going to go Badosa. Should I go Badosa? Yeah, that's fine. Rogers and Gauff going to go Gauff. Pegula and Andreescu. Oh, man, I'm going to go... I think Pegula's just too consistent, but yeah, I'll go Pegula. Pegula over Andreescu. And then Caroline Garcia to beat Fernandez. Kudermetova, Ostapenko. I'm going to go Kudermetova. Collins, Sasnovich. Can Collins blow Sasnovich off court? I'm going to say yes. Kasatkina, Krejcikova. Tough match. I think Krejcikova is just too informed to pick against at the moment. She can't obviously win everything, but it's been good so far. Right, Martin Kova, Sabalenka. Going to go Sabalenka for that one. Right, Paula Badosa, Corey Gauff, Coco Gauff. I'm going to go Gauff to beat Badosa. I think she's going to be too solid for her, honestly. And I think Badosa will struggle with Coco Gauff defensively. She's so good as well, the American. Pegula, Caroline Garcia. That'll be a great match. I'm going to go Pegula to win. Kudermetova, Collins. I will go with Kudermetova. And then Krejcikova, Sabalenka. I'm going to go Krejcikova. So I've got Gauff versus Pegula semi-final. They're both really good friends. They're doubles partners. I'm going to go with Gauff. Then Kudermetova, Krejcikova, going to go Krejcikova. And I'm going to have my winner as Coco Gauff because I think Krejcikova winning a third straight title is just surely can't be an issue. Okay, right. That's it. So I've gone with Coco Gauff to be my champion at Guadalajara. Let me know your thoughts. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and also listening on. Oh, sorry, and if you are listening on a podcast platform, remember to leave a rating or review. Read us, help us out. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you very soon. Thank you very much.